Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the high-stakes world of nonprofit fundraising. We're going to completely flip the script on how you look at your donor database. If you feel like your team is constantly scrambling, always trying to find new funding sources, well, get ready. We're about to turn your simple, everyday record-keeping into a strategic treasure hunt. Let's get right into it. I want you to think about this for a second. Where is your next major donor hiding? Because the data shows they aren't some mythical figure you have to cross the globe to find. Now, they're likely already in your orbit. They're quietly liking your posts, they're attending a virtual event, maybe making a small annual contribution here and there. Basically, they're hiding in plain sight as just another anonymous face in the crowd. So let's look at how we can actually unmask them. Section 1, the mystery in the database. Now, to find those hidden gems, we've really got to rethink prospect research. It's not just data entry, it is absolutely crucial strategic detective work. And, as any good detective will tell you, a solid investigation always starts with a clean scene. If your CRM is just clogged up with outdated or duplicated info, your research is going to hit a dead end fast. So taking the time to remove duplicate entries, update contact info, standardize your formats, and verify historical giving data, that is your foundational first step. You literally can't build an accurate donor profile on messy data. It just doesn't work. Section 2, the 3 pillars of prospecting. Okay, let's dive into this. To profile the perfect prospect, you need a really powerful combination of foundational clues. Think of it kind of like a 3-legged stool. So the first leg is capacity. Do they objectively have the financial means to write a transformational check? Now, we aren't being invasive here, not at all. We're just looking for public green lights, things like real estate ownership, maybe executive roles in certain businesses, or public stock holdings. Figuring this out helps us ensure we're making an appropriate and, most importantly, respectful ask. Moving on to the second pillar, philanthropy, which is also known as propensity. Because let's be real, having wealth is one thing, but having the willingness to actually give it away is an entirely different story. We want to see a documented behavioral footprint. Maybe they have a history of giving to other nonprofits, or perhaps they sit on a foundation board. This past behavior is key because it proves that they actively value philanthropy and are already charitably inclined. And that brings us to the final pillar, which is affinity. You can find someone with incredible capacity and a super rich history of giving, but if they don't have a genuine personal connection to your specific mission, wealth alone just isn't going to solve the mystery. They actually need to care about what you do. Have they used your services? Have they consistently engaged with your events? Without that deep affinity, they are highly unlikely to become your next major partner. Section 3, the investigator's toolkit. So, how do development teams actually uncover these clues out in the wild? Well, you'll often hear these two terms, wealth screening and prospect research, used interchangeably, but they are incredibly different tools. Wealth screening is a broad stroke scan to answer a simple question: who has the money? Prospect research, on the other hand, goes way, way deeper. It layers on that passion and history we just talked about to answer which of these wealthy individuals is actually most likely to give to us and why. Basically, wealth screening starts the process, but prospect research finishes it. Section 4. Following the financial breadcrumbs. When we start following those digital footprints to determine a prospect's capacity, hard assets like real estate ownership or business revenue are massive green lights. But you know what one of the most surprisingly strong indicators is? Political contributions. Yep, people who drop large sums on political campaigns are broadcasting two very distinct things. 1, they have high disposable income, and 2, they are completely comfortable writing big checks to fund their values. Now, if your prospect happens to be a corporate insider, the SEC's public EDGAR database is an absolute goldmine. I know, it looks like an intimidating alphabet soup, but here is your quick decoder ring. Form 10K gives you the company's annual financial results. The DEF 14A proxy statement, okay, that's the holy grail right there. It reveals exact executive compensation and board pay. Form 4 tracks insider stock moves within just 2 days, and Schedule 13D or G shows if someone acquires more than 5% of a company's voting stock. All of this factual data, it completely takes the guesswork out of estimating their capacity. Section 5, the ultimate leverage, securing the challenge match. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is the psychology of it all. This is the thrilling climax, using all this gathered data on capacity, philanthropy, and affinity to identify a prospect who can fund a challenge match. The leverage here is just staggering. A massive 84% of donors say they are more likely to donate if a match is offered. Just think about it. When a mid-level supporter sees their $50 donation magically become $100 thanks to a challenger, that barrier to giving just melts away. This multiplier effect is very, very real. Not only are more people likely to give, but 1 in 3 donors will actually give a larger base gift simply because matching is applied. For your major donor, this pitch is incredibly irresistible, especially to their entrepreneurial mindset, because you aren't just asking them for a simple donation anymore, you're offering them financial leverage. You're showing them exactly how their single investment will catalyze hundreds of others and literally double their overall impact on your mission. So, how do we actually turn all these clues into a concrete ask? Well, here's the step-by-step progression. Step 1, the pre-discovery phase. This is where you invite them to a non-solicitation meeting. Just update them on your goals and validate your affinity data. Step 2, framing the conversation. You want to pitch this as leadership and investment, not just a donation. Ask them to lead a campaign. Step 3, highlight that awesome multiplier effect we just looked at. And finally, Step 4, discuss recognition options. You can offer public naming rights to inspire others, or strict anonymity, if that's what they prefer. You really just have to be flexible here. But hey, the leverage doesn't have to stop there. By looking at employer data you gathered during your research, you might just unlock a triple match effect. First off, verify their matching gift eligibility. Their personal gift might be matched one-to-one by their employer before the public even gets involved. You could also tap into corporate grants for aligned missions, set up long-term payroll giving programs, or even leverage volunteer grants for their board service hours. It's all about maximizing every single possible revenue stream connected to that one individual. Wow, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground today, right? From database hygiene to the alphabet soup of SEC filings, all the way to the psychology of the challenge match. But I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take back to your team. Who is the hidden champion currently sitting in your CRM? Armed with the tools of prospect research, you now have the power to stop guessing and start finding them. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy investigating.